Let's go over the trades I took this week. This week was very choppy. You could tell by the markets that I traded. The weekly candlestick they were all kind of like dojis. So the markets were kind of choppy. Not too many big moves. But this week I'll put it up on the screen. The three trades I took. One hit a 1 to 2.5 ish, I think, and then one lost, so -1%, and then the other one was like a short loss because it got closed off on Friday because I don't have weekend holdings on my funded account. But yeah, let's go over the first trade I took for the week. This was kind of a more of a scalp kind of trade that I took. Um, I usually don't take trades like this. They're usually like more like on the day to like swing trade. First trade of the week was NZD CAD. Let's go over it. On the weekly time frame, we were bearish. This being our lower high and this being our lower low. On the daily time frame, we are bullish. This being our higher low and this being our higher high. And on the 4-hour, this was our higher low and this is our higher high. So we had two time frames in sync. We had the 4-hour and the daily in sync. So then what I was waiting for is for price to reach my area of interest. We have resistance, support, resistance, support, support. We have support, 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 resistance, resistance, support, and so on. So when price reached my area of interest, we had this higher high, and then I've simply waited for a higher low on the 4-hour. So then I went into the lower time frame on the 1-hour. And then here I saw that we shifted structure. We closed under this structure right here. So this was our higher low and this is our higher high. And then we closed under. So we shifted bearish right here. This being our lower high and this being our lower low. But then we shifted back up. So as soon as I saw that shifted structure on the 1-hour, I waited for a pullback. I waited for a higher low to potentially buy. So we had that shifted structure on the 1-hour. I was simply waiting for a bullish engulfing on the 30 or 15 minute, and we got it right here on the 15 minute. I didn't see it, so I ended up getting over here, which made my stop loss a little bit bigger. But it's fine. I still got the nice risk to reward. It was still worth it, and I took the trade. We ended up going straight into profit. I set the take profit at this level, at this high with this support and resistance level, which we could have seen a resistance from, or we could have potentially closed above and retested it to continue going up. In this case, it did what it did, and we used this area right here as resistance. So it came down. As soon as I saw this 4-hour close under this structure, I decided to close. That's why it was like a 2.6. Simply, if we closed above this structure point, I would have potentially held for longer because this was the beginning of the week, and we could have seen a break and retest of this area of interest to continue going to the upside. But overall, solid trade. I set my stop loss under this structure point right here because we were bullish, and I set 5 pips under this structure right here. Just because if we were to be completely wrong, we would have to shift the structure and we would have been bearish. Our next trade that I took this week was AUD USD. On the weekly time frame, we were bearish. We have this lower high and this lower low. On the daily, we were also bearish. We have this lower high and this lower low. And the 4-hour, we were bullish. We had this higher low and this higher high. So we had two time frames in sync. We had two time frames in sync. We had the daily and the weekly. And we have this nice area of interest. We have resistance, resistance, support, and so on. And we also had this round psychological area, 0.63 thousand. So when we were above this area of interest and we broke through it down, we had a retest with that this daily candlestick right here, retesting the EMA, retesting around psychological level. So then the next day I decided to look for an entry, and on the 1 hour we had a shift to structure down, and then on the pullback I got an entry. I got in on this morning star formation. I had my stop loss a little bit too tight. It was kind of a riskier trade, and also this was bearish, but then we created a new lower low. So this was our lower high, and this was our lower low. This is our lower high, and this is our lower low, and we kind of broke structure right here. So this trade, I was kind of impatient. Could have been more patient and looked for a better entry. Now looking at this trade, what I could have done better is just simply be more patient. Here on the 2 hour, we could see this beautiful left head and right shoulder. So if I was a little bit more patient, I could have simply waited for a break and retest of the neckline of the head and shoulders to take it to the downside, and it clearly didn't do, so we were completely wrong. So yeah, this trade, I could have just been a little bit more patient, but I had some FOMO. I thought like the trade was gonna like leave without me, but no, like there's so many more opportunities in the markets, and there's gonna be opportunities every single day. So even if we miss one of these trades, it's fine. But yeah, I could have been more patient. On the next trade, it was USD JPY on the weekly time frame. We are bearish. This is our lower high, and this is our lower low. On the daily time frame, we were also bearish. This is our lower high, and this is our lower low. And on the 4 hour, we were bullish. This is our higher low, and this is our higher high. And our area of interest had support, 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 and resistance, 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 support, support, resistance. So it was a good area of interest. It was also retesting the previous structure on the daily time frame, and also round psychological 148.500. So what I saw here was we're obviously creating lower lows and lower highs. So I waited for a lower high to create a potential new lower low on this area of interest, psychological, round psychological level, and previous structure. So then I saw this nice daily candlestick with a nice rejection, and we closed under the round psychological level and in our area of interest. On the 4 hour, we were above this area of interest. Then we had this bearish engulfing. We broke under, and we came and retested the area of interest and retesting this EMA, and that's when I decided to get an entry. So I came down on a 30-minute. I was waiting for a shift to structure of this neckline of this left head, right shoulder. So we had the break. We retested on this evening star formation. I got in, set my stop loss above this high. The stop loss on this high on the 4 hour. So if we simply broke through that, it would have created a new higher high on the 4 hour, which would have meant we were completely wrong. And the trade closed right here on Friday. I just let it ride out. So yeah, these were the trades I took this week. This week was kind of choppy. The markets were just consolidating. Most of the markets I was looking to trade ended up in like a weekly doji. So we didn't have really big moves. That's why the one trade that we did ended up getting a 1 to 2.5 risk reward was kind of a scalp kind of trade. Not the usual swing day trades I take. So yeah, I'm gonna be posting next the trades I will be interested in taking this week. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment if you guys need anything. Peace.